Anyone up for some, cringe moments? Well, what's up, every pony? I have been working on a visual novel that I have titled Like Jelly. Like Jelly is intended to be something like a dating sim visual novel. However, you do not actually romance the characters. Rather, in some circumstances, the characters will flirt with you and/or you will flirt with them. It is intended to be a mature visual novel, however, it is not mature in the way that you are thinking currently. Rather, there will be some disturbing concepts in the visual novel, such as violence and cult symbolism, cult involvement, cult. And to give you a background for the characters that are focused on in this visual novel, I will describe Cheran, who I have developed more so than the other girls. And Cheran is a very manipulative and charming cult leader. Herself and her followers worship a cryptid in Obscura known as the Faceless People, who of course are faceless people, or humanoids, who essentially stalk their victims and terrorize them. Members of the cult often wear masks within their own meetings, however this is not quite relevant to the game itself because there are no meetings in the game. Rather, you live quite a domestic lifestyle with Cheran and her so-called daughters. Cheran looks to be a young to middle-aged adult, presumably within her late 20s to early 30s, and her supposed daughters are intended to be young adults for sure. These daughters are known by the names of Ilya, Bess, and Maya. Ilya is a very musical daughter. She's very into music. Bess is very into poetry and writing. However, she sticks to poetry mostly. Maya is a very artistic person. She's very interested in the visual arts such as drawing and sketching, as well as painting. And within the visual novel you will be exploring these girls' interests. However, Cheran is a different instance in which you instead spend domestic time with her, and she does not let on to any interests that she has, but rather describes the interests of her daughters. This is all only accurate if I'm remembering what I wrote correctly, which there is no guarantee. However, what I am saying is true to all of the characters that I have developed so far. Double XP is over. But I would not recommend playing this visual novel if you are sensitive to concepts and themes relating to horror, particularly violence, sadism, and death. I may or may not have nabbed some audio from the YouTube audio library to use in the background of the visual novel, so you can look forward to some familiar tunes. If you have scavenged the audio library like myself. But this visual novel will have more options and choices than the last one I had done, which would be Night Terrors, which only has one ending, as it is more of a kinetic novel, in which there's just one linear story. And for Like Jelly, there will be about 8 endings, which I do have planned and I have thought about. However, I am not quite solid on how I will go about achieving these endings so far. And right now is basically what I am working on at that moment, which is developing what happens between the beginning and the endings, which I have already planned out. In the end, I want to leave most of what is planned to your imagination until I am finished with the visual novel. So until next time, I will see you then. Goodbye for now, and thank you for watching and or listening.